Greetings, captains, commanders, firsts. Just regular old video. Meeting. Just checking in. I see there's a lot of panic around the situation with Cryptic and Gearbox and all that. Um, I'm not exactly. I'm not freaking out or anything. I'm not worried about it. The reason I'm not worried about it because I don't worry about things like that. Because it just comes to basic shit like this. Um, if it is the end of Cryptic, it's the end of Cryptic. To be honest, the fact that bugs don't get fucking hardly ever get squashed, they're more concerned about making money and all that, which is fine. A free to play game, you know. I figure that's what they're going to do. But don't make them to be the video game development gods you think they are. Um, they've made playing this game sometimes really hard. They've included some of the terrible writing from some of the recent Star Trek shows. And, like, some of the missions that they wrote themselves were just utter trash. I'm sorry, but that one Terran mission where Wesley Crusher kind of has like powers of a god or something. That's some terrible shit. Like that's some terrible writing. Really, this is what you're gonna write? Um, and there's a lot of the controversy that came out a while ago where they were nerfing shit, nerfing consoles and stuff like that, and those elite DPSers were crying about it. But it's like the nature. It's like you like they wanted to balance the game because there's certain missions where it's like people didn't want it to fucking end in like 3 seconds flat. And it's like, it's those feely DPSers, it's like all you fucking care about is yourself. Sometimes, like, shit like that ruins the game for other people, you know? And it's one of those things where it's just like, it's a video game. Just because you bought an item doesn't mean it's like, that's the way, you know? Maybe they felt like the game, like, I don't know, some of this shit's just ridiculous. Hooray, I leveled. Um, I don't know, like, so you gotta realize it's more than just you guys. And I'm not gonna call out anybody. I mean, because I've scoped some videos out from these guys, and it's like, I see it, like you wear your shit on your sleeve about how you act, and you're not the type of people I want to play with. Like, if I could avoid it, I wouldn't get into the FCF with you kind of people because it's like, I like playing games, and mostly I like a challenge when it comes to a game. I don't shirk from a challenge, which is why I miss a lot of the old content, like the original no-win scenario, for instance. The way they did it, fuck, that was hard. Um, but then there was people that started to ruin it, and then like it became a fucking thing where it's just not long after it just became a thing. You got into it, and then people were killing it in like 30 seconds. So I don't know what to tell you. Um, this game has had a really long life. I mean, you look at, see, and I'm gonna show my age with this, but um, Diablo 2, the original Diablo 2, not the resurrected one that's out right now, but the original Diablo 2. I mean, that was a game where it was like it had a really long life. Blizzard wasn't paying much attention to it. And yeah, they used to have patches every so often, but it got to a point where like they stopped patching it. Um, maybe unless like something seriously broke, but the game was so well made that like they could go a while without patching it, and it would just work. It worked perfectly, no bugs or anything. Yeah, there was like certain glitches, but it wasn't like game breaking glitches. Like it was when people used to do the leveling glitch, they called it rushing back in the day, where they could rush you. And normally it's like you couldn't get to from one difficulty to another without actually finishing the storyline. But it's like that's something that didn't hurt anybody. It didn't even annoy anybody because, again, one of those things, if you didn't want to do it, you didn't have to participate in it. But the way these things are made, it's like these games are made, it's like you click on for, you know, the STFs, or I don't know what the hell they're called now, but these, from the drop down me, it's like people want to play the game a certain way. It's like you have to play with those people. You can't, like how it was in Diablo, where you make your own room or game or whatever they used to call it, and you just play by yourself or with your group of friends. Um, I think the limit was like 5, which kind of sucked about the limit. Um, Wait, did I log into this character already? Apparently I did. Um, but yeah, you didn't have to play with those people. And this was like during, like, there wasn't any voice chats or anything like that. Maybe there was, but at the time, this was like 2000, 2001, um, long before that kind of stuff. Long before anybody was using voice chat. They had an in-game chat. So it's like when you came to a game, you could talk to people. Um, Through text, and it's like no matter where you were in the game, you had still had communication. Turn on my speaker. Um, I can't remember what my point was. An old man going on, but there's going to be a time where it's like stuff is going to be like you're going to have to move on. Does it suck that this game might not get to 20 years? Yeah, it does. I love the game, but I love the game in its original form. Um, I don't like a lot of these changes. Like I said, the writing in the last, like, I can't remember, a long time, let's see now, has been really terrible. The fact that we went from Jim Pock as a chancellor to whatever her name was. But it's the reason and how they wrote it and stuff like it just didn't make any sense because they were so goddamn stubborn about shoehorning the Discovery stuff. Discovery is the most terrible written. It's not because, oh, you're afraid of a diverse female. No, we had them. Star Trek had them. We had Janeway, Lana Torres, and TNG crew, which is another one nowadays people are so nostalgic for. But it's like nostalgia is fine and all that, and having strong female characters and all that, but you gotta write them better. Like how Discovery is written, where it's like every male around what's her name was written as like no male could ever match up to her, and she was the smartest, and she always verbally beat down fucking the men. It's like that's fucking terrible. It's like they didn't go through any kind of trials and tribulations to prove that they're badass. It's just like they're badass and you have to accept it because we tell you they are. And it's like, no. Like, if you wanted to be a strong female lead for the Klingons, I get it. We had Korrin, who was the, female captain of the Klingon flagship Bordskew. When you couldn't make her fucking, decide that she wanted to be Chancellor or something. Up to this point in this game's history, she's always been through fucking trials and tribulations and shit. You make a little mission where like it's a transition period where she's trying to be the leader that she can be for her crew. Decided that she can do a better job than Jimpak, and Jimpak's an asshole. Without a doubt, Jimpak's an asshole. He proved it during the Herc arc, being a cowardly piece of shit. But that's when Martok should have been, because he supposedly killed Martok. He should have been there to fucking kill him. Or it could have been a thing where Korrin decided she was going to do it. Martok, I get it. Like, he's an old man and he doesn't want to. He never wanted the chancellorship to begin with, because if you remember in that TNG or not TNG, Deep Space Nine episode, Worf kills Gowron. He's like, no, I don't want it. I'm a soldier of the Empire, that kind of thing. Martok is that guy. He doesn't want to be leader. He just wants to do what's right, for the Empire. But it's because of Worf he was chancellor in the fucking first place. So if you wanted to do a strong female lead, they could do that. Like, why did it have to be the Klingons of also? Like, it's that's what I don't get. It's like they could have picked the Federation for that. It's almost like a commentary on the current Israeli-Palestine conflict there. Anyways, enough about politics. I hate when there's politics in video games. You can't just, like, video games are about a fantasy. It's not about some current political shit. I know this is Star Trek and it's supposed to be about current political shit because back in the day it was. But there's got to be a point where you got to be like, you know what, first world problems, right? Anyways. But yeah, this game to me was a lot better before. I like. I think if there was like a perfect era of the game, I think it was right around Legacy of Romulus. Legacy of Romulus was good. before all the tier 6 stuff. I think it was before a lot of the elite DPS or stuff. I mean, there was hints of it during that time and even before, but it was like most people was like, I think most people just love playing the game and they just, here, I'm a Star Trek nerd. Here's a game that's finally like awesome and but right around then was good. The mechanics were good and it was like really simple. There was only a few reputations. I mean, Legacy of Romulus introduced, I think it was introduced right around the 8472 reputation. Maybe a little bit before. No, it was like somewhere after the Tholian. I can't remember. I have to go back and fact check and look on it. But it was good. I mean, to me, it's like my favorite era of the game was right around when I started playing. I started playing just before it went free to play. When you still had to buy the game. I bought my game copy from GameStop when it was developed by Atari, I think it was. But if it could have all 4 factions in that kind of era where it was like, because I didn't like in the beginning where you had to have a Federation character to level 25 before you could create a Klingon character, and then the Klingon character started at level 20. That didn't make any sense. So kind of like perfect era would be like all factions have a level 1 to 50 campaign. And that way it was kind of like every faction could be on equal footing. Apparently I can't spell. I mean, I missed it. Like, there was super expensive stuff on the exchange back in the day, but not to the degree where it is. I mean, you could get the Mirror Universe ships for like a couple 100,000 EC. Yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, the lockbox weapons off the exchange wasn't like, they were kind of expensive, but if you're really good at making EC, it was not that big of a deal. I got rid of them. I don't know why I did, but I had lockbox ships. Like, I think the lockbox numbers are a lot worse now than they used to be. A few things I would bring into the older version of Star Trek Online would be the R&D system was a lot better. It's a lot more easier accessible. I mean, trying to find like plans, I forget what they're called, plans and shit like that for stuff was really, really fucking hard. It took a lot of, like, you had to play the game a lot to be able to get that kind of stuff. Now it's just like, they're like duty officer missions, which is great because you could set them and forget them. Like duty officer missions. I just wish that, like, the duty officer, I just wish there were better diplomacy missions. And I wish, like, when you did the whole transfer prisoners thing, for Federation. I just wish you got better. A, you can get rid of them, a lot more of them in one sitting, and the reward was far better. Like, it should have been mirrored what the Klingons us, and like, and make it more rewarding to do it. I mean, like in a Federation character, sometimes you get so many um, prisoners, and you can't get rid of them fast enough compared to how fast that you gain them. Which to me sucks. Um, yeah. Like I said, I'm an old man just rambling on. Um, I don't know if I'm going to have a video on a particular subject or something this week. I'm going to think about it. Um, you guys seem to eat these videos up pretty good, which is great. I'm grateful. Gives me something to do throughout the week. Um, so, yeah. A little bit of a chat, a little bit of a video. Um, and again, I want to open up, talk about me opening up my fleets to recruitment. I don't know if anyone has difficulty trying to get a hold of me for that purpose. Well, you can get a hold of me anyways. You know, like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Even message my socials. I've forgotten to hook up, like, to figure out the messaging for my Instagram, but I'll figure that out by the end of day and all that. So yeah, if you want to help build up these fleets, that'd be much appreciated. And it'd be kind of fun, and maybe you can get together and do some stuff, like do some STFs, load up in a team. And maybe just kind of chat together on a regular basis. I mean, the infamous, or should I say famous, infamous, whatever, 12th Fleet did it back in the day before it was even, you know, did it back in the day. Old school user role and 12th Fleet and everything. I don't know what's going on with them these days. I haven't checked them out in a while. Probably should check them out to see what they're doing. 12th Fleet was kind of how I was modeling my fleets, plural. Only different, where it's like MACO, MACO Delta Force was the first one, and it's how I wanted to do it. I had a little bit of people in the fleet originally, but people just moved on from the game and they didn't want to play it. A couple of people I knew moved on to World of Warships. They made that their main kind of warship, whatever kind of, you know. Some people I knew were already playing like Fallout games on the side, and they decided they wanted to just strictly focus on Bethesda games, Fallout games mainly. But there's some people they knew that moved on to like Fallout 4 originally, and then playing like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 repeatedly, and then Fallout 76 came out, and they moved on that for a while. Most of them moved on to even further. Starfield, moved on to that other game that Obsidian made in the last few years. I forget what it's called. Like, I played Fallout 4 too. Obviously, there's videos on the channel. I also moved on to Fallout 76. Also, there's videos on the channel about that too. But I never kind of walked away from Star Trek Online. I took a hiatus for some time. But I never really walked away from the game. I mean, originally when I was playing the game, I was going out to internet cafes and stuff to play Star Trek Online. For those who don't know what an internet cafe is, it's like a place you can go and you can play games. Sometimes, mostly it's games they already have. Sometimes, if you can convince them to allow you to download games onto their computer so you can come on a semi-regular basis at least and play. And you pay money for the privilege. They have snacks, drinks, sometimes like full-out food depending on where you go. But it's kind of like, for me and my friends that were doing it at the time, it's kind of like going out to the bar, only it's, nerding out and playing some video games. And I did that for a long time, and then I got my own computer, and then I wanted to play my own stuff at home. Just go to the store and, stock up on snacks and drinks that I liked, and just play it in the comfort of my own home. And shit. Yeah. So, anyways, that's just kind of like a check-in video. Hope you're all doing great. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I will see you next time.